Welcome back to Pulse Studios, home of 94.7 The Pulse Community Radio and Pulse Television. This show is produced by volunteers at Pulse and our media students. If you would like to participate in a show, become a volunteer, part of the crew, or if you would like to undertake our media courses, check our website, 947thepulse.com.
We're here this morning in the beautiful town of Queenscliff for Pulse Television, and we're just standing in front of one of the old shelter sheds. And I'm standing here with Rod Charles, who is running a National Heritage Trust bike ride this morning. And as you can see behind us, we have a wonderful collection of not only riders on wonderful bikes, but some of them are even dressed up. And there's one lady there that I'm not quite sure if she's not going to freeze to death. Rod, tell us about the National Heritage Trust.
Right, the National Heritage Trust, the National Heritage Ride today is to Queenscliff. The Queenscliff was a great spot in the 1980s for holidays. People came down by steamer, they went back often by train, but this was a place to cycle around in the 1880s. We've got a couple of penny farthings and a wonderful tricycle here today from that period, and we've got a number of other bicycles that go back to the 1890s, again when it was a very, very popular destination for holidays. So should be a great ride today to Point Lonsdale. I'm
here now with a lovely lady who makes terrific carrot cake, called Pat Evans, and she has with her a beautiful little bike which she calls a kangaroo bike, and I'm going to ask her to explain a little bit about it because it's quite unusual. It has two chains on the front. Pat, tell us about the bike.
The kangaroo was made in Coventry in England in 1884, and they were immensely popular bicycles, and the reason for this is because it has two chains, it's actually geared up to be the equivalent to a 52-inch penny farthing, and this meant that small men were able to win races. Before that, only tall men could ride penny farthings, and all of the tall men won the races and the small men missed out.
And we're here at Point Lonsdale, which is the other end of the ride that we filmed a little bit earlier, and we're standing with the family Clissold. And Stuart in the middle here in that wonderful outfit. He's also got a fob watch, beautiful fob watch, which is working. Chantell, put your hand up, who's freezing to death, and his wife. Your name?
Wendy.
Wendy. And behind us, we can see that was a beautiful, and tell us about it, it's a BSA ladies bike.
It's a 1914 ladies BSA bike that we restored for Wendy to ride. The other one we have here is an 1885 Coventry, and that one there is a 1907 Sun cycle.
Not quite sunny at the moment, and that was found in a paddock, was it?
Yes, both of those were found in a paddock in Wangaratta. That one we've restored, and that one we haven't yet restored. So.
And the one behind you?
The one behind me I purchased off a chap in Lara, and it was sitting on the top of a supermarket fridge in Lara for about 25 years.
For our last interview, we're going back to Rod Charles, who is the owner of this lovely bike, and it's called a Ganna. That's Ganna. Rod, would you like to tell us all about the Ganna?
The Ganna bike is a beauty. It's an Italian bike. Luigi Ganna won the first Giros in 1909. So it's got this particular bike has got great significance as far as Italy goes. I'm told by very, very respectable authorities that Luigi Ganna was originally a bricklayer. So he came from that sort of tradition. To win the Giro, you needed to be a hard worker.
And I think we can wrap it up there on this lovely day in Queenscliff.
Paula Kontelj is synonymous with Geelong radio. But recently, she has become a state Liberal candidate. Lisa visited her at her beautiful house.
I'm here with Geelong radio royalty Paula Kontelj. Thank you for talking to us here. Hi, Lisa.
Tell us a little about your lovely career on radio.
Well, it's been going a heck of a long time, but I have given it away for the moment. I started in 1988 at 3GL, actually, in a part-time capacity. I used to come on and do aerobics on the radio. Well, in fact, before that, I started at what's now called The Pulse, double YR, doing aerobics on the radio, and I guess 3GL heard it, liked it, and got me to come on board. So I started there in 1988, got a job at Bay FM doing breakfast radio with Laurie Atlas in 1990, and I've been at Bay FM ever since until I sort of gave it away in February.
So most people know your voice and know your personality and know a lot about your family. So breakfast radio, how do you juggle that with your family?
That was a bit tricky because I was constantly tired, but those were good hours in a sense because I was always home in the afternoon to pick my kids up from school. But it did mean that they had to get themselves off to school, so you'd make the sandwiches the night before and make sure everything was prepped the night before. When they were really little, luckily my husband Stretch was still working in Geelong, so he would take them to school. As they got older and more independent, they did walk to school.
Now, obviously they would be very proud of the people that you've actually been able to meet in your radio career. Tell us some highlights.
Oh, the biggest highlight would have been meeting and interviewing Olivia Newton-John in her motel room. She was so welcoming and so generous with her time. We probably spent over an hour with her and she was saying, "Can I make you a cup of tea?" And it was Laurie and I at the time. So she was definitely a highlight. But most TV performers, I think, over the journey I've interviewed over the years, and they've been great. Being on Family Feud with Bert Newton, shall I lift up this nice shot? There he is. That was an absolute highlight because we had a whole lot of fun. Bert was fantastic and we raised $15,000 for Bowen Health during that episode. So that was great fun. That was a highlight.
Now, you are stepping out of the proverbial kitchen and not being the first lady anymore. You're actually going to be the main lady with your Liberal candidacy. Tell us a little bit more about this journey.
Yeah, this is a challenge and it's not to be taken lightly. A lot of people say, "Oh, you know, Paula, everyone knows you'll win." But largely with politics, you know, people vote oftentimes for the party rather than the personality, and I'm hoping that they might vote for the person because I am born and bred in Geelong. I am a community person. I've always been a community person and I love this city. I have done a lot of shows with amateur theatre companies over the years. My favourites, A Chorus Line in 2000. Stepping Out was a great show too in 2004 or 5. I think we did that one. I've been in Annie Get Your Gun, Taming of the Shrew in the Botanic Gardens. Eurobeat was fantastic fun with Chantell in 2011, and last year I was Mira, the lead role in Miss Bosnia. Here's the poster that was out and about, and that was at the Woodbine Theatre, and I played a Bosnian former beauty pageant queen who was trying to put together a beauty pageant in war-torn Bosnia. So that was a very fun role, but it had a serious message behind it as well, and I had to perfect that Bosnian accent.
Can you give us a little try?
I can be trying to do that for you. I think that's actually a little bit Russian, but it was something like that, Lisa.
Now, any singing?
I haven't sung for a long time, no, although in the musicals occasionally I'd have to join in and sing a bit, but yeah, I used to sing in the 80s, but still do the odd Zumba class with you, Lisa.
We have perfected the dancing, haven't we?
We do love a dance. I think dancing is just a great way to liberate yourself and get rid of any anxieties that you might have. Everybody should dance regardless of your ability. Just like they say, dance like no one's looking.
I think we should dance now, shall we?
Shall we? All right.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thanks.